The Fox's Trick, a fable about trust. Once upon a time, in a vast and beautiful forest, the seasons changed like magic. Spring was full of blooming flowers, summer brought thick green leaves, autumn had golden fruits, and winter, well, winter was tough. This year, the cold came earlier than expected, freezing the rivers, covering the trees in snow, and making food almost impossible to find. In this forest lived two very different animals. One was a big, strong wolf named Greytooth. He had thick, fluffy fur that kept him warm even in the harshest winters. He was strong, honest, but not the smartest animal in the forest. The other was a sly fox named Redfur. He had bright red fur and sharp eyes that always seemed to be thinking up a new trick. Redfur was clever, maybe too clever. Instead of working hard to prepare for winter, he spent his time playing, talking, and tricking others into giving him food. As the snow piled higher and higher, Greytooth was sitting comfortably in his cave, chewing on a juicy deer leg. Around him were stacks of meat he had hunted and thick animal skins that kept him warm. Redfur, on the other hand, was starving. He had spent all autumn having fun and now had nothing to eat. His stomach growled as he wandered through the snow, looking for anything he could steal or trick someone into giving him. That's when he spotted Greytooth. Seeing the wolf sitting there, warm and well-fed, Redfur's eyes lit up. Aha, he thought, licking his lips. That big oaf has everything I need. Food, warmth, all I have to do is fool him into sharing it with me. Redfur trotted up to Greytooth, shivering and making his voice sound weak and pitiful. Oh, Greytooth, my dear, strong friend, he whined. Look at you, living like a king. A warm bed of furs, a feast of meat. Meanwhile, poor little me is freezing and starving out here. Greytooth looked at him, confused. You didn't store food for the winter? Redfur sighed dramatically. Oh, I was just so busy, helping others. Yes, I was giving food to the needy, and now, well, I have nothing left. Greytooth frowned. He wasn't the smartest, but he had a big heart. With a sigh, he tore off a piece of meat and handed it to Redfur. There. Eat up. Redfur's eyes sparkled as he snatched the meat and gobbled it down. But he wasn't done yet. This was just the beginning of his plan. After licking his lips, he put on his best friendly smile. Greytooth, my good, kind friend. I can't help but notice something. What? Greytooth asked, chewing on his food. Well, look at you. You have the thickest, warmest fur in the whole forest. It's like wearing a natural coat. But all that fur must make hunting difficult, right? Slows you down? Greytooth frowned. Not really. Redfur laughed nervously. Haha, but imagine if you had a lighter coat. You'd be the fastest wolf ever. And guess what? I have an idea. If you, gave me your fur, I could take it to the human village and trade it for even more food and even better furs. Then, when I bring them back, you'll have more warmth and more food than ever. Greytooth blinked. He wasn't great at thinking things through, but something about this idea felt off. My fur is attached to me, he said slowly. How would I give it to you? Oh, don't worry about that, Redfur said quickly. I have a plan. It'll be quick, and I promise you'll be so much better off. Greytooth hesitated. He didn't want to be tricked, but Redfur sounded so confident. Before Greytooth could answer, a deep, rumbling voice echoed through the snowy trees. What's this I hear? Both animals turned to see a large, powerful tiger stepping forward. His name was Goldstripe, and he was the king of the forest. Goldstripe was not only strong, but also very, very wise. Redfur immediately tensed up. Goldstripe was the one animal he could never fool. The tiger's golden eyes glowed as he stared at Redfur. I heard you, little fox. You were asking Greytooth to give you his fur? Redfur gulped but forced a smile. Oh, great and wise Goldstripe. I was simply offering a fair trade. His fur for more food and warmth. A great deal, don't you think? Goldstripe let out a low, rumbling chuckle. Oh? But I heard fox fur is the softest in the whole forest. If fur is so valuable, why not give your fur to Greytooth instead? Redfur's tail puffed up. And my fur? No, that wouldn't work. My fur is, too thin. It wouldn't be enough for a big strong wolf like him. Goldstripe stepped forward, his voice calm but firm. Ah, so your fur is too precious to give away, but you want his fur? Tell me, Redfur, if he gives up his fur in the middle of winter, what happens to him? Redfur's mouth opened, but no sound came out. Goldstripe growled, he would freeze to death. Greytooth's eyes widened. He looked down at his fur, then at Redfur, then at Goldstripe. Wait. You mean, he was trying to trick me? Goldstripe nodded. Yes. And if I hadn't arrived, you might have believed him. Greytooth's face turned red with anger. He took a step toward Redfur, who instantly turned and bolted into the snow, running as fast as his little legs could carry him. Hey! Come back here! Greytooth roared. But Redfur was already gone, disappearing into the forest. From that day on, Redfur never dared to try such a dangerous trick again, at least not on Greytooth. And Greytooth? He learned a very important lesson. He looked at Goldstripe and bowed his head. Thank you, Goldstripe. I almost made a terrible mistake. Goldstripe nodded. Remember this, Greytooth, some people, like Redfur, will say anything to get what they want. They'll make their lies sound sweet and their tricks sound like gifts. But if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Greytooth took those words to heart. And as for Redfur, well, let's just say that whenever he saw a flash of golden fur in the trees, he ran in the other direction, just in case. Never trust sweet words without thinking carefully. Some people promise you the world, but they only want to take what's yours. Stay sharp, stay smart, and don't let the foxes fool you.